this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Roaring Mind. And Roaring Mind refers to an earlier vlog which I had done on the subject of teleportation and asked if I could similarly speak to the idea of telekinesis. And for those of you who are not familiar with telekinesis, it is the idea of being able to move something physically using only spiritual energy. People would commonly say, move it using your mind, although it's really more like move it using your soul. And I would begin this comment in the same place that I began my comment on the subject of teleportation, which is that I really don't like to say that things aren't possible, because I've seen so many things that would normally be thought of as not possible, but in fact were possible. And so I'm certainly not going to say it can't be done. What I will do is share my own experiences with you, and what I have found is that I've often encountered situations where spirits can move physical objects. Sometimes in answer to questions, sometimes in other circumstances. I've seen them open doors, I've seen them move portraits, I've seen them move physical objects on an altar. I've seen a number of things like this. They can also create sounds, they can create scents. There are a lot of things that spirits can do. Some of these we can also do. There are people who claim to be able to practice telekinesis. I really haven't seen anyone who has mastered this art. More commonly, you'll encounter people who claim to have spontaneous telekinetic experiences when they are in a state of distress, either angry or fearful or other highly emotional situations, and that these things just happen to them. And I certainly don't doubt that, though I haven't really seen much of it. But as to someone who's actually mastered the ability to do this, I have yet to meet one. I have met people who can affect electronic appliances, however. I've met people who can do things like turning a light on or off, or who can turn on certain electronic things like a computer or a television. However, again, it was more often unintentional than intentional, and these are people who have very high energy that in many cases they really should be grounding more. But if one can learn to manipulate that, one can do things with it. But I have yet to meet anyone who is really good at it, and so I think this is one of those areas where we have a lot of room to grow and expand. Is it possible? I think it is. Are you likely to encounter it? No, you're really not. However, just because you're not likely to encounter it doesn't mean it can't be done, and it doesn't mean that there might not be people doing it. Like I say, in my experience, most commonly, it's been unintentional and the result of high emotion and high energy. But I have seen a few people who can do certain things intentionally. So I would say it certainly must be possible to do others. So I hope that answers your question and gives you something to think about. And until next time, may you blessed be. Today's vlog is brought to us by the term pentagram.
Pentagram. The pentagram, a five-pointed star in a circle, is the principal symbol of the Wiccan religion. The symbol was used in ancient Egypt to represent the concept of magic, without the circle, and the spirit world, with the circle. In classical times, the pentagram, also called pentalpha, was used by the Pythagoreans, a Greek philosophical school with a reputation for deep metaphysical knowledge. In the medieval period, the symbol continued to flourish, being used by a number of groups, including some Christians. The pentagram has many meanings, notably the union of the five elements: air, fire, water, earth, and the element that underlies them all, spirit, which in turn corresponds to the union of spirit and matter and the attainment of spiritual illumination, as well as the ancient maxim, as above, so below, because a five-pointed star can be taken to represent the human body, illustrating our oneness with all creation.